Hello, everyone. This is Omar. Welcome to the podcast called American Me Podcast, formerly The Third Rail. Have a good show for you today. I'm trying to get organized. It takes me a while, Not very intellectually smart when it comes to electronic goods. Have no help. Got only one hand that works. Anyway, as I came on to do the live show right now, as you can see, first of all, we have an 800 number right there on the screen. You could call me anytime you want, and I'll take your call. Anybody could call. And right now, as I came to do the live, India just attacked Pakistan. I don't know what's going to happen. Pakistan is going to eventually retaliate. Now, the only issue I have right now with that is the White House. Is the White House up to calming down the situation? Because if you have two countries with nuclear weapons, you need somebody to tell me, yo, you guys, you got to cut it out. That's what the United States used to do before. They used to say, cut it out. But we don't have that kind of leadership, I guess. That's what I'm worried anyway. And I think India is, they had a terrorist attack on Kashmir. Kashmir is a bit different story you need to learn about. It has the same stature as Palestine when it comes to the occupation by the Indian forces. But there was a terrorist attack that killed Indians, which I'm against all terrorism, against killing civilians. But the whole idea is that India is blaming Pakistan. Now, I know Pakistan doesn't in this moment, they are very fragile politically. They are strong military, though. I don't think they want any beef with India at this moment, or they're going to send people over to India to kill innocent people. I mean, countries just don't do that no more. Only Israel does. But I don't think it's. Let me just check if I'm live. Let me see if I check if I'm live. So, okay. That was it. So when I came to the show right now, India just attacked Pakistan. Pakistan said it responded. I hope they know. I came to the show right now. I hope they should understand that Pakistan will be able to respond. Pakistan is not Gaza. I know India has a strong relationship with Israel, and the Indians and the Israelis, they find this common ground. I don't know why. India was pro-Palestinian before the racist, and Prime Minister Modi, who's a racist and a criminal and a genocidal maniac. He has a long history of creating internal strife within India, hatred. He belongs to the RSS, which is it's almost like a Nazi-like organization that was founded during the Nazi era, believe it or not. It is the brotherly hood of the SS of the Nazi political party in Germany. The whole idea is that Hindu nationalism, but they forget they have like 200 million Muslims, about 40 million Christians. And why would you mess up your country and turn it into a nationalist country when you have the biggest democracy in the world? You are right now poised to become one of the biggest economies. When the United States decouples from China, India maybe will inherit that business and become a strong and uplift its people from poverty. But sometimes people are petty the way they do things in their life. So, I don't know what it is. It is what it is, Anyway, today's show has to do with anti-Semitism. As you saw that by my thumbnail. The reason I put that thumbnail is not to be a racist thumbnail or anything of that nature. It's just I find it incredibly dangerous that everyone is using they are using anti-Semitism as a weapon that does not serve the Jewish community well. I mean, not everything is anti-Semitism. You could disagree with people. One time I called an Ashkenazi Jew, playing around. I thought, you're from Europe. You're not from the Middle East. He goes, that is a blood libel. I'm like, what the hell is a blood libel? I went to look it up. It had to do with kids and blood. I said, what the hell does that has to do with me? Anyway, the problem is I have this theory, and I need you guys to listen carefully. I think that AIPAC and the ADL and all the Zionist so-called civil rights organizations in the United States are working hand in hand to create a dangerous environment for American Jews so they will resort and migrate to Israel. I have this feeling, I know it sounds crazy, but I know it's true because they are doing everything they can to discredit the Jewish community, to disfigure their standing, create this environment of entitlement for Jews that doesn't exist. And I think many Jews don't even want it. American Jews don't even want that attention. Uh, um, when you're passing about 20 bills in the U.S. Congress in 2023, 24, more than 20 bills were introduced that had to do with anti-Semitism or boycott or BDS or had to do with Israel. That's more probably bills than were introduced for the United States of America. The last bill, I think, was called 878 or 870. The bill is weird. They want first, anti-Semitism will not be defined by the United States Congress, but they're going to outsource it to an international Holocaust organization, which is weird. And then you can't boycott Israel. You can't say nothing against Israel. And if an American citizen boycotts or whatever, I don't know what it was, he gets 1 year in jail, 20 years in jail, and $1 million. I think it's $1 million penalty. 20 years for what? Fuck Israel. Huh? All right. Fuck Israel. That's it. I have that right to say that. Imagine you're living in the United States of America. You have the right to condemn your own country or even burn your own flag or even protest our policies, boycott our companies. It's okay. But God forbid, if you are able as an American citizen to use your free will, your God-given free will, and your God-given rights that was founded by this nation, that we hold these truths to be self-evident that I think it was all men are created equal with God-given rights. I'm not sure, but I know the Constitution guarantees us that. So let me go back to my theory. So what does the ADL? Does the ADL really serves American Jews? They make up all these numbers. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, about 800%. And when you go to read their reports, it's not credible, first of all. As a matter of fact, even Wikipedia said the ADL is not a credible source for anti-Semitism stats. What it does, anybody that says F Israel is considered an anti-Semitism harassment, whatever they want to classify it. But when you go look at the numbers that are really dangerous, the assaults, they had this year, one time, 2 years ago, they had 111 assaults. Out of 330 million Americans now, last year they had 178 assaults. And we're not even sure how these assaults, what happened. Did they push each other on the subway train or argue with each other? We need a police report to actually prove that these things did happen, because I find the ADL incredibly dishonest and very dangerous. Not to us, it is dangerous to American Jews and Jews in the despair and in the board, like American Jews don't want to go. They are using the same tactics they used in the 50s and 40s to get Arab Jews to leave Arab countries. What they did is the Mossad used to bomb like Jewish theaters where Jews mostly go to watch movies, or clubs, or neighborhoods, or organizations. And look at the Levant operation of Egypt when the Mossad was putting bombs throughout all Egypt to scare Jews to migrate to Israel. So they use that. I don't know, man, but I really, really do believe that in my heart of heart, in my mind, that these organizations like the ADL and the APAC, APAC is boasting about how much money it gives away, how many people it elected, and how many people it got rid of. Like they got rid of Jamal Bowman, they got rid of Curry Bush, because they disagree with their stand on the genocide in Gaza. Now, we could all agree this is a country of many different things. We can agree there is anti-Semitism or anti-Islam or anti-Black or anti-white. There's always somebody's anti-something in this country. I mean, it is what it is, and it is how it is. So, but I'm trying to be articulate how make my thinking straight and right without sounding crazy or giving ammunition to the Zionist propagandists who will try to use this as an anti-Semitism. It's not, believe me. This is not an anti-Semitism show today. What I'm saying is that I do believe that AIPAC, if you remember, like 4 years ago, when Ilhan Omar from Minnesota, the first with a headscarf, the first Somali Muslim to be in Congress, all these politicians are invited to AIPAC every year. You know, they kiss the ring, and you know, they make sure they get that money to get elected again. And then she tweeted, "It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about money." And they turned the whole world upside down. It's an anti-Semitism trope. Tells you these are lies when they say it's an anti-Semitism trope. She's saying that Jews have money. They do have money. They're very rich. I mean, they're very successful. That's good. I wish my community was successful as the Jews. And they censored her, I think, or condemned her in Congress. They wanted to get rid of her. Because at that time, AIPAC never gave direct money to politicians. It gave indirectly. It will have all these organizations and will tell them, give this guy 100,000, give this guy 200,000, but it will never be directly from AIPAC. So at that time, they could say, oh, it's all about the Benjamin. We don't take out. Don't you hate that? I ate a candy, and this is a piece of paper. I have a candy in my mouth. Let me get rid of it. Probably sounds stupid. So at that time, Ilhan Omar was almost, they had her in the front page of the New York Post, one of the silliest Zionist newspaper we have in New York that nobody buys. As a matter of fact, I used to be in the newspaper business. I used to have a store. Mostly people used to buy for a quarter for dog, you know, their dog when they move them out. They made her as a fare. To push down 4 or 5 years later, AIPAC changes its mechanism, how it pays out to a politician, and now decides to give direct donations from AIPAC to politicians. A matter of fact, there's an AIPAC tracker. I didn't put it on screen today. Almost every single senator gets AIPAC money. Almost every person part of Congress or part of the House of Representatives. Am I talking or what? I don't hear myself, man. Let me see. Almost every person part of Congress or part of the House of Representatives. Oh, okay. Am I talking or what? Mic check. Okay. So anybody wants to call, they could call 1-800-811-9419. Or you call right now. I'll ask you a phone call, and we could have a conversation if you want. So to get back to AIPAC, at that time, they actually crucified Ilhan Omar for saying it's about the Benjamin. It is about the Benjamins. Then 5 years later, they're giving direct money, millions, 2 million, 5 million. And every time at the end of every election cycle, they will boast. We got 99.9% selected of the people we chose. We spend $100 million. Now, why are you saying that? What benefits do you have that? You don't need to advertise that because it's going to create resentments from Americans or white Americans, from Muslims, from everybody. Like, oh, look, they're buying our politicians. The whole idea is AIPAC and the ADL and the other Zionist organizations, I think in my mind, are purposely trying to create an environment of anti-Semitism against Jews so they will move to Israel. I guarantee it, like Charles Barkley says on NBA Countdown, whatever. It is true. It has to be. It has to be because it makes no sense. And every time a congressman gets up every day, they want to make these new laws. Anti-Semitism. You know, there are 37 states. Okay, let me tell you, BDS, I don't know what it stands for again. BDS is the same vehicle they use against South Africa, where BDS is an idea of boycotting, divest. BDS, yeah. I know it's boycott and divest. Like, let's say, that's what's going on in the university. They tell the university, you got to divest from Israel. So it's been around for 20 years, and it is the most successful weapon you could use against Israel. You don't need no rockets. You don't need no bombs. You don't need no guns. All companies have to do is say, if you're killing 15,000 children in 1 year for no reason, we're not going to do business with you. Okay? That's all they have to do. We're not going to do business with you. Your money is no good as Israelis. But I know they're going to turn around. Antisemitism, antisemitism. That's the weapon. That's why I have the thumbnail with the guy blowing the balloons. One day that balloon is going to pop, and that anti-Semitism is not going to be worth anything anymore. Right now, there's so much. If you go on X, there's so much crazy shit on it. You can't believe it. You know, when that guy Dorsey owns Twitter, we couldn't even say we had to say pronouns or nouns. If we say, oh, there's no pronouns, you get banned, whatever it was that time. I got banned one time for saying some stupid thing. Yeah. I said that's a bitch move. And there was Candace Owens' picture above it. And had nothing to do with it. I was talking about something else, and I got my account suspended until today. So it is what it is. This is what it is. Now let's go back to the second stage. I mean, how do I say this? Many Jews, or Zionist Jews, or the majority, they have this relationship with victimhood. They want to be the victims all the time. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm victimized. I'm hated. They hate me. Nobody. You are getting the same taste that everybody else is getting. In the last year, a Palestinian 6-year-old was stabbed 26 times because he was Palestinian. 3 Palestinians were shot in Vermont. One of them is paralyzed. Students. A child was drowned in Texas because she wears a hijab. I haven't seen that happen to Jews right now. And God, thank God it's not happening to them. But imagine if it was happening. Whoa, the whole fucking, the anchors on TV, they're going to be spitting, drooling with spit just to report that. So let's go to the idea of victimhood. I have to be a victim. I'm always a victim. I always have to play the victim. Victimhood. Attention, victimhood. Because when I do that all the time, when I do something, then I could still claim that I'm a victim, like what they're doing in Israel right now. There is no reason to kill 75,000 people, 75,000, and destroy a whole city. And now you're saying you're going to cleanse the city and get rid of these people, 2 million people out of their land, so you could build your own houses on them, because some fringe or terrorist organization attacked during October 7. And if people are honest, because there's a lot of dishonesty in the media, especially legacy media, politicians are dishonest. The majority of those killed were killed by the Israeli military. And the whole incident took 10 hours. You could drive from one part of Israel to the other in 1 hour, maybe, not even 2 hours. And the military took 10 hours to get help there. It's suspect maybe it was invited or as a prelude to invade Gaza and destroy it, because they had to get rid of the population. Everybody knows that. I said that a long time ago. I swear to God, I said that. I was debating this guy. I don't know, it's called Coffee Cup or Coffee Guru, whatever the fuck his name was. And I told him Israel has a demographic problem. He goes, what do you mean? I said, Israel wants to take the land because it wants a bigger Israel. But if you count the population, they're almost even, 50-50. You have 7.3 million Palestinian and 7.3 million Jews. And a matter of fact, I am willing to bet the Jews are not even 7 million, because, they're mostly citizen, or they are just medical citizen. They go there for the free healthcare and come here, or they go there vacation during the summer, get the beaches, get a tan, and they go. They're not even real citizens. So they need to do something because they don't want to give up. They want to take the land, but they have a problem with the Palestinians on that land. They don't want a two-state solution, and they can't have a one-state solution because it will destroy the Jewish idea of an ethno-state. No, because the Palestinians are having more babies and things of that nature, and while the Israelis or the Jews are not having that many babies except the religious Jews. So I said the word, they need a final solution. And the guy went crazy. He started clutching his pearl. How could you say that? You are insensitive. This has happened to us in World War II at the hands of the German. I said, listen, relax. You don't have a copyright or a patent on the word final solution here. It's not yours. I could use it. And well, guess what? That happened. Now they are cleansing the Gaza, and they are the final solution is to get rid of them any way necessary. And at the same time, they are cleansing the West Bank. There's no Hamas there, and they're doing the same thing, and they are still the victims. And what's so upsetting and hurtful is that the media doesn't report on that. I don't watch legacy media no more. I don't watch that no more. Because I discovered they are liars and hypocrites and are afraid to touch certain subjects. Imagine about a month ago, 15 medics and 3 ambulances who went to rescue people who were injured by the Israeli forces were met, killed, but the person there who got shot in the head was videotaped everything on with his phone. This is why these these phones are amazing, and put it in his pocket, and he knew that was going to be a testimony to what happened to them. Imagine what the Israeli army did. They killed them. They opened a big landfill, and they buried them with the ambulances, and they covered it in a mass grave, and they just left it at that. And then the United Nations, everybody's coming, they're looking for these medics. What happened? Did they disappear? I mean, what? And they came, they found the ground, and when they opened it, they saw these the ambulances, and when they saw on the phone how they were they were murdered in cold blood by the Israeli army. When the Israeli army was discovered, we did an investigation. It was a professional mistake. That was their conclusion. You murder medics who are wearing medical clothes, and you wear and destroy the ambulances and bury them underground and try to cover the crime, and it is a professional mistake. What that tells you is that's why I don't like in Israel that Israeli lives are more worth than Palestinian life, even on American TV. You always see them. The hostages family, the hostages. There's 10,000 Palestinians who are hostages for no reason. Children, men and women have been taken off the street for no reason under military administrative laws. They have no recourse. They have no due process. They have nothing. Anyway, let me give you an idea of this idea of victimhood. All right, this is hold on, I got to make sure I don't mess it up.
I think it's pretty undeniable, at least from my own experience, that there is.
You understand? Wait, let me do this. Hold on. I'm not going to let you hear that. I want to show you this. I saw this with, your goddamn house blind. I can't see that good, right? Okay, let me fix this. I have to do this that way, baby. Okay, got it like this. All right. I got to go back, right? Hold on. Okay. Okay, this is Professor Finkelstein, Norman Finkelstein, who wrote the book, The Holocaust Industry. And if you read that book, you should read it. He tells you how the Holocaust has been turned into a money-making machine, business. It has become a business instead of an actual thing. Hey, you ready? Okay, let's listen to this. Remember when I told you about the idea of victimhood? Here you go. Listen to this guy. He was interviewing
Professor
Norman Finkelstein.
I think it's pretty undeniable, at least from my own experience, that there is very rampant anti-Semitism in the United States, at least.
That's your experience?
That has been my experience.
Are you Jewish?
I'm half Jewish.
He's not even full Jewish, but he still plays that victimhood card.
But it's not necessarily that it's directed at me, but
Okay.
people growing up, slurs against other races.
So if it's not directed at you, why are you complaining about anti-Semitism? You see, when you're lying, you're lying. This is, I think it just, they have reinforced this idea, propagandist people, to reinforce this idea that Jews have to be victims all the time, even if they're not victims. Let's listen to this.
Aren't tolerated, but slurs against Jews I would hear pretty regularly. Or lots of Jew jokes where you wouldn't be able to make black
jokes.
I don't agree with that at all. First of all, there was an era in which one calculated anti-Semitism
Right.
not by a person's thoughts.
Yep.
You can't control a person's thoughts.
Right.
And even you can't control your thoughts.
Okay.
And even you probably can't figure out what's your quote unquote real motive for whatever you do. Are you interviewing me now because of a sincere inquiry into the life of the mind? Or does it have an egotistical component? Or does it go back to something your mother said when you were 5 years old? You know, the human psyche is very complicated and it's not susceptible to easy analysis or control. So there was an era where nobody ever thought about those things.
Yes.
When you talked about anti-Semitism,
Right.
it meant, does it affect your job opportunities? Does it affect your access to certain institutions of higher education? Does it affect where you're going to live? Does it affect negatively your interactions with the law? That's what anti-Semitism meant of higher education. Does it affect palpable, lucid expressions of this phobia, whatever you want to call anti-Semitism, okay?
Right.
By that reckoning, can you name me a place in the United States where a Jew would have trouble purchasing a home or renting an apartment? Name me one place. I'd be curious. Can you name me one university, one college, one?
Shut him down. Shut him down.
Where a Jew would have trouble getting.
That's why the Professor Norman Finkel says he's not popular. He doesn't have attention at any universities because they will not give it to him, because he speaks his mind and he knows this idea of victimhood and using the Holocaust as a weaponization to extract money and propaganda out of it is wrong. You read the book or just listen to it. The book is cheap. It's about $10 or $12.
In because he or she was Jewish? One. Could you name me one profession? Does the medical profession discriminate against Jews? There's a legal profession. I mean, that was once a problem. That's why Jewish law firms are created, because they couldn't get into the white shoe WASP law firms. Does that exist anymore? So this is just completely and
bullshit.
Totally ridiculous to talk about anti-Semitism in the United States. On the contrary, being Jewish gets you into professions.
Yep.
It's an asset in our society. In publishing, being Jewish makes a big difference. You know what they used to call the New York Review of a book? They called it the New York Review of each other's books, and they were all Jewish.
Right. So, so you saw how he just blew it right in his face. Well, being Jewish, I experienced a lot of. He said, "Are you Jewish?" He goes, "No, I'm half Jewish." He goes, "Well, it doesn't happen to me. It happens to other Jews." So what the fuck you're saying that there isn't any? As a matter of fact, he broke it down to him. He's telling him that Jews are experiencing great economic benefits in this day in our lives, in our history. All right, I'm gonna go video by video, see what it is. Okay, so over the weekend, let me see if I can find this. Ben Gvir, who's used to be on the terrorist list, believe it or not. He used to be on the terrorist list in our country, but was taken off the terror list. Now he's a minister in the Jewish government that's killing Palestinians. So they came over the weekend. They had some protests in what do you call it? in Brooklyn, New York, and a lot of people came protested. Okay, let's look at it right now. This is a woman that was stuck.
Jewish state.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go back to this witch. Is it? No, this is not. You see, this is what. Nope. What is this, young? This is a woman that was who lost her way during a protest. They were spitting on her, they were punching her, they were throwing stuff at her. These are the same people who are complaining about anti-Semitism. Mayor Anglo said, when they show you who they are, I believe them. When they first show, I believe them now. When I see the murder of so much children in Gaza, and it is unbelievable what they're doing to those kids. Let's go. You know, this is what okay, this is it. Yep. Okay, go. That was a woman that was in okay. That was a woman that was in Brooklyn, New York during the protest, and she got caught. Not only that, they are attacking even other Jews they disagree with. It's not a monolithy. Anti-Semitism goes against Jews who do not believe in Zionism. There are millions of Jews who do not believe in the idea of Israel and are actually with the Palestinians who see Zionists as an affront to Judaism and are upset that that Zionists are trying to conflate Judaism with Zionism and saying that Judaism is a whole different thing. It is a faith, it's a religion, and Jews don't see themselves all as Zionists. Jews see themselves as part of the country that they live in. Like in Arabia, they have Yemeni Jews, Egyptian Jews, American Jews, South American Jews. So they are part of the country, but they're ethnically known. Let me see what this is. They wrote in Arabic or in English. I have no idea. I can't see that far. And I asked if I can. You know, so here, this is, I think, I don't know if this is it. Let me see. Oh no, this is the police when they are called to when they are called during a demonstration. What they do, they go attack the pro-Palestinian side and create this havoc as if they are violent individuals. They're beating them up. The police are beating up the protesters. They're not doing anything. They're just protesting. I'm going to see more. This was in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm not calm him down.
Don't shoot. Don't fucking shoot. Don't fucking shoot.
Sometimes the police make it worse than it is. When they are playing favorites, there's no need. Those people are not coming to attack anybody. They just are coming here to demonstrate against a guy who's a war criminal and who is welcomed by our government, who should not be here, who is on the list of terrorists. Like other terrorists, he was on the list of the United States State Department. But all of a sudden now he's not. You know? All right, let me finish this. This was in Brooklyn, New York. Sometimes the police, when they show up, they make it more worse. When they start trying to attack the students or the people who are protesting, and from that, they want to create this scene that these people are unruly and they are fascists. They are trying to attack these. Now, what I'm about to show you is, let me make sure I'm in the right place. Okay. I'm about to show you this. These are Jews who are attacking non-Zionist Jews in Brooklyn. See, they're attacking them. Look how evil these motherfuckers are. Look how he's screaming at the other Jews. So when you see Zionists, they're like, oh, we're here to protect the Jews. We are the protectors and the guardians of Jews, and we are against anti-Semitism. Look what they're doing to other Jews. They are not. They are for Zionists will kill Jews if they have to maintain Israel. They will kill them with no question asked.
You're an animal!
I already said the word KKK. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen to me. Okay?
Fuck Palestine! Kuiper, Stapler, Kuiper!
You
smell the virus striche Hamidi! They rich. Yeah, you're so scared. No, why is that getting a ticket? No, it's not legal. Where's the bomb?
This was in Brooklyn during the protest. The non-Zionist Jews were there to protest the war criminal Ben Gvir, who happens to be in Brooklyn there dancing and celebrating the death of 15,000 Palestinian children, of 75,000 Palestinians altogether.
Your mom, I fucked all your moms.
Go back to Beirut.
I was inside all your moms, bro. Ask them. They know me.
All right, guys. See the fucking cops, how cowards they are? They're fucking cowards, man. All right, guys, cut it out, guys. Come on, cut it out. They're beating the daylight out of those poor Jews. But when the pro-Palestinians were protesting, the cops were beating them up. There was no, oh, guys, cut it out. All right, let's go move on to another video. I know I'm rushing because I have no sense of articulation. Okay.
But the next step, Jewish settlements in Gaza, is a very difficult step.
Okay.
Have a Jewish state.
This is the evil we're going to see a lot of her. She's the one pushing for the settlement of Gaza while the people are still in Gaza. That's like saying, well, my grandmother's about to die. If not, I'm going to poison her so I could take over the house. Same thing.
But the next step, Jewish settlements in Gaza, is a very difficult step that demands a lot of work. You have to influence the leftist, the government, the nations of the world, using the magic system, Zionism. You redeem the land, you establish communities.
And kill the people on it.
You bring Jewish families.
And get rid of
live Jewish life. And this will bring light instead of darkness.
So
and this is how the state of Israel was established. And this is what we want to do in Gaza. We do for governments what they cannot do for themselves. Even if you take Netanyahu now, he is very happy with what we do here.
What she's saying is that the Palestinians are the dark people, the evil. They need to be eradicated. And the Jews are the people of light, and they are deserving of that land, and they bring everything with the Zionist magic back to life. Now, what she's about to say is that we are doing what the government wants to do, but cannot do it yet. But they're already doing a lot of things. So what we do is we do it, and the government comes later and just helps us out finish it.
And also about our plans to build Jewish communities in Gaza. He's happy about it, but he cannot say it. He says the opposite.
Yeah.
It's not realistic. Good! We will make it realistic. It's not forcing the government. It's helping the government.
Eyes.
It's step number one in politics. You don't force the government. You give the government the courage, the ability, the public support, the political support.
We very much encourage and enable the population in Gaza to go to other countries.
Yeah.
You will witness how Jews go to Gaza and Arabs disappear from Gaza.
Daniela had told me she'd signed up 800 families who were ready to move into Gaza. The idea seemed to be to get spiritual buy-in from the two rabbis.
Here's the rabbi.
One of them was next to speak, Rabbi Dov Lior.
תראו רבותיי, לפי עניות דעתי, לפי מה שאני מבין במקורות שלנו, עם הפראים האלה לא היה שלום, אין שלום ולא יהיה שלום. לא שאני לא רוצה שלום, גם אני רוצה שלום. ארץ שייכת אך ורק לעם ישראל, וכל עזה וכל לבנון, כל זה צריכים לנקות את הארץ מרוכבי הגמלים.
What is on my mind all the time
How to get
is
rid of
how
Palestinians.
to bring more people to settle the land. I never think in terms of, I know this is beta. I don't think about beta.
Why not?
Because I think about, I'm a Jew.
The people.
I'm a settler.
The people.
I'm a human being.
Yes, you are. So are they.
So I do not think about this.
You're thinking about tribalism, thinking of your own people to the exclusion. It would be understandable to think of your own people or your own children first, but to think about other people, other children, not at all, that seems sociopathic.
Exactly. She's a sociopath. And, you know, a lot of Jews are saying, American Jews, why is anti-Semitism? Why are people saying F the Jews? Why are we having these issues? Why are people turning against us? Why is public opinion for the first time turning against Israel? You don't have to go far here. You got to look at this here. Wait. What happened? Hold on. What happened?
يمكن نسينا في يوم
What about the music?
ماتت قلوب الناس ماتت بنا النخوة.
Right now, Israel has an embargo against the Palestinians. They're starving them to death. They are using the same weapons that they claim the Nazis used against them in the ghettos in Germany, how they use food and calories to starve Jews. They are doing the same thing, the same blueprint that they claim that happened in Germany or in Poland to the Palestinians.
يمكن نسينا في يوم إن العرب إخوة ماتت قلوب الناس ماتت بنا النخوة يمكن نسينا في يوم إن العرب إخوة.
There you go. It's a little sad in Arabic. It says, wow, we forgot one day that the Arabs are brother. There you have it. This is what it is, what it is. I always press the wrong thing. Let me see if I have access to another article. Share the screen. All right. I don't know what I'm going to go at, but I'm going to go at something. Here. This is an article by, let me see. Am I seeing myself? I'm going to just let you hear it. This is about a Jewish American who wrote this article about the bill they wanted to pass in Congress, but thank God that Congress refused to, what happened? Okay. Refused to pass it. You understand? Okay, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. So I'm going to let you just listen to it better than me reading it. We're going to listen to it together. I think it was a good article or whatever it is. Is this it? Yeah.
Willick. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act shows the mire of identity politics. Here's a quaint idea. If the government is going to punish someone, it should be for something the person has done, not the viewpoint he or she holds while doing it. Anti-discrimination laws have made that distinction harder and harder to maintain.
Exactly.
The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act would continue the trend. The AAA passed the House 320, 91 last year, but on Wednesday it stumbled in a Senate committee as Democratic lawmakers and Senator Rand Paul, Republican Kentucky, raised free speech concerns. The pause is welcome because the legislation is flawed, but the real lesson is broader. America's civil rights model for managing diversity warps public debate and needs to be reconsidered.
Right.
The AAA would broaden the definition of anti-Semitism.
You can't say anything. I could discriminate against white people or black people or Hispanics. There's no law that says, well, you cannot say something about black people. But why are Jews who are assimilated, who have worked hard to assimilate themselves to the United States culture and economic and political life, they get voted into office by 9 Jews and everything. Why do they want to narrow themselves out and create this special protection group just for them? It's no good. It works against them. It has the opposite effect. People like saying, oh, they're getting all this treatment, huh?
Essentially by defining anti-Zionism as anti-Semitic for the purposes of civil rights law. The legislation incorporates examples of anti-Semitism, including applying a double standard to Israel. Applying a double standard to Israel or any other country is protected by the First Amendment, of course, but in civil rights law, the line between politically charged speech and harassment of an identity group is blurry. Persistent anti-Israel advocacy on college campuses could be classified as discrimination against Jewish students.
Yes.
So if the AAA passed, colleges would have a greater incentive to tamp down anti-Israel activities.
The bill wanted to control, even right now, while they're cutting aids to universities by the anti-Semitism task force. Do you really need a task force? What they want to do, they want to impose on these independent universities or elite universities that help Jews become who they are today as lawyers and doctors and brought them out of poverty from the last century. They want to control who they hire and what students do they accept. In other words, they can hire Muslim or Arab or Palestinian professors. They have a say in that, or accept international Arab or Palestinian student. This is the whole thing. Everything is for that ugly child called Israel. It has nothing to do with Jewish American. It has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. It has to do nothing with everything. As a matter of fact, it works the opposite. It creates more anti-Semitism. It creates more hatred of Jews. And at the same time, it does a disservice to what Jews have worked for almost 100 years, is to become part of the American landscape instead of becoming a protected class like the LGBT community and other communities. I don't think that works in their favor. I don't understand it.
To avoid civil rights investigations. Think about it this way. Suppose college students occupied a campus building to call for wealth redistribution, as sometimes happened during the Occupy Wall Street movement of the early 2010s. That might break campus rules or local laws, but it's none of the federal government's business. But suppose students instead occupied a campus building to condemn the state of Israel. That could be an anti-Semitic act under the AAA, and therefore evidence that the college is violating civil rights.
And they lose funding.
The real offense, as far as the federal government is concerned, is not conduct, but the viewpoint behind it. The AAA would expand the scope of viewpoints that could trigger federal scrutiny. Blurring the distinction between viewpoints and actions gets the government deeper into the business of trying to control thought. Perhaps that is necessary to suppress discrimination against Jews. But Leo Strauss, one of the foremost Jewish intellectuals of the 20th century, warned about where this logic could lead. The prohibition against every discrimination would mean the abolition of the private sphere, the denial of the difference between the state and society, in a word, the destruction of liberal society, he said during a 1962 speech.
Wow.
We have empirical data, he noted dryly, about the effect of the abolition of liberal society on the fate of the Jews. Strauss was a conservative. Until recently, many liberals would have scoffed at the idea that civil rights enforcement was in tension with liberal society. But the Trump administration's assault on Harvard and other universities could jolt liberal thinking. The administration cited anti-Semitism and civil rights laws in demanding far-reaching changes to Harvard's governance last month.
Yeah.
When the university balked, the administration began to withhold research funding, and Harvard filed a lawsuit defending its constitutional right to run its own affairs. The Ivy League has been in populist conservative crosshairs for years, of course, but the outbreak of sometimes vicious anti-Israel activism on college campuses since the October 7, 2023, Hamas attack has given the right an ideal opening to go on offense. Trump is trying to turn the civil rights model pioneered and expanded by liberals against liberalism's own power centers. He might not be successful. The Harvard defunding appears legally ham-fisted. But Strauss's warning about state control of the private sphere under the guise of anti-discrimination ought to look more prescient to liberals now. At the very least, fixating on non-discrimination flattens public debate. Jacob M. Miller, a senior at Harvard University who was president of the campus Hillel in 2023, observes the tediousness of parsing whether anti-Israel activism at Harvard is anti-Semitic. This excessive focus on semantics is symptomatic of a larger problem with our politics, he writes in the student newspaper. We reflexively condemn reprehensible ideologies only insofar as they are racist or hateful, rather than because they're plain wrong. Miller adds that this has created a twisted incentive structure, one in which Jews on campus feel compelled to characterize certain behaviors as anti-Semitic because they know that is the one sin campus will surely condemn.
Yeah. They could weaponize it against other students. Like, for example, when I went to college, they had these organizations. Like I was a part of the Arab American, not American, the Arab organization, the Muslim organization, the Jews have their own, the Hispanics had their own, you know. Everybody had, but we didn't care about each other. We just had these programs to help other students, like Arab students. And we had a party at the end of the year where we introduced culture and food to the faculty and to the professor. At that time, we were not very brave enough to talk about the Palestinian issue.
After all, if a viewpoint can be labeled discriminatory, the door is open to government discipline. That tends to reduce debates with historical, religious, and foreign policy dimensions into contests about whether one racial or ethnic or sexual group or another is victimized. Deeper questions lose significance and political deliberation is impoverished. The Trump administration is trying to revolutionize.
All right, let me get rid of this. You get the gist of it, all right? I don't want to waste your time. Anyway, here we are. Okay, so, you know, I'm getting a little tired here. I just want to do a closing argument is the whole idea when you hear anti-Semitism is on the rise. It is done on purpose. Or anti-Semitism is in universities, in college, and is bullying Jewish students. It's all lies because most of these anti-Israel movements are made up of Jews too. They are Jewish leaders, student leaders who are against Zionism, or not even Zionism. They're against the murder of children. I mean, they are human at the end of the day. I mean, they have feelings. I mean, we're going to support Israel, whatever it does. So the whole idea is there's a game being played. It is a partnership between our politician, legacy media, and Zionist organization. We're going to need to use anti-Semitism as a vehicle to cover the genocide in Gaza. So we're going to busy the American people with the idea of anti-Semitism here. It's going to create this crisis of anti-Semitism that it doesn't exist in order to cover for Netanyahu and his murderous regime that is killing and massacring and starving children in Palestine. And it's a stain on Jewish history. It will be. They're not going to get rid of it so easy, because now the people saw what Israel is all about. And once you see something, it's hard to unsee it. You understand? I find it sometimes ridiculous. Imagine Chuck Schumer. I voted for Chuck Schumer like 20 years ago when he first became a senator against D'Amato, or what his name was. He was the majority leader. He's been minority leader in the Senate. He is at the highest level of American political power. You know what he does? He writes a book on anti-Semitism. That's all he has to do. It shows you where his mind is at. You understand? His mind is not on America or the American public. You know. Anyway, like they say, it is what it is, right? Oh, I gotta look at that thing. Huh? See, yes, I love thee. Anyway, all this anti-Semitism stuff is nothing but it's a game that's being played against it's going to hurt Jews as much as it's going to hurt Arabs or Muslims or Palestinians. It's going to hurt them as much as there is, because if you start to create this idea that you're a special group, that you need protection, that everybody hates you, everybody against you, and you need the government, and you use your money to take people and bring in people in the long run, it's going to hurt you, and it's going to create you, and it's going to turn you into and then it's going to create real anti-Semitism. Anyway, that's the number, 800-811-91, I think it was 911 or 9419. If you was not watching the show live, you could leave a message and I'll answer it. Just leave the message and I'll play it on the next show. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Take care.
Yeah, bitch so bad I wanna shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a loop. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, yeah, bad I wanna shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a loop. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, yeah, I wanna shoot. Girl, you too bad for me not to press you, yeah. Young fly nigga, I don't follow all these rules, yeah. Bitch, I'm making tunes, I ain't missing, I won't lose. Let's go to an island where the water around is blue. I got two bad bitches in the coop. 42 in the bottle, glasses on full too. Ain't no games, I ain't playing, I want you, yeah. Take a trip, let's go shopping, I got blues, yeah. We got options you could choose. Yeah, you want it, I can buy it, ain't no rules, yeah. I'm just saying, let me help you upgrade you, yeah. Fuck that nigga, he don't care about you, yeah. Girl, move on. He can't treat you like I do, my money too long. I got homies for your friends and we can group on. We are early, hit our shot like Curry. Bitch, I wanna shoot like hoops.